We are live. We are live on Facebook. How exciting. It's Author Hangout. It's a live stream for kids. We're so excited. I'm so excited today because I've got one of my absolute favorite author illustrators in the whole country joining us. So if this is popping up in your feed, mums and dads, make sure you grab your kids and give them a pen and paper, a pencil and paper, sit them down, and they're going to learn how to draw chooks, wolves, crows. Who knows where this will go, but it's a lot of fun. So it's time for me to fire up the computer and make sure that we get my very good friend Lucinda Gifford on board, because it is time for the Author Hangout. Yes, the Author Hangout, just for kids. We're doing some live streaming for kids. We've had some wonderful guests so far this week, and I'm thrilled to say that the quality of guest continues, because today we have one of my absolute favorites. I'm going to get her on board straight away. Her name is Lucinda Gifford, and if the technology isn't failing me, she is on the line right now. Lucinda, are you there? Here she comes. There she is.
Hi.
How are you going, Lucinda?
Oh yeah, great. Getting work done.
Getting
in
work
isolation.
Done? Good. Working hard. That's good. Now, Lucinda, you're an author illustrator extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Is what I like to call you. But a lot of kids might be really familiar with you for all sorts of different books, but particularly for the National Simultaneous Storytime, which is coming up later in the year. There it is. Chicken Divas.
And Brittany.
Whitney and Brittany, the stars of Chicken Divas. Now, when is National Simultaneous Storytime, and what's it all about? When does it happen? And you know how things have changed a little bit just at the minute.
Yeah.
How's it going to be different to last year?
Well, it will still go ahead, but it's going to be online now. So it's on May the 27th and at 11 a.m. And so you can register by going to alia.com/NSS. So it's still all on, but yes, it's not going to be, there aren't going to be big gatherings. So I will be reading the book still, but probably from here, or hopefully a more glamorous setting. We'll see.
More glamorous. That looks pretty glamorous, that background there with all the chickens. Now you might see I've got my crew flitting in and out. They're helping me. They're helping me today, so don't worry about that. That's all part of the professionalism that is the Author Hangout. Yeah. Okay, so Lucinda, it's Whitney and Brittany are the National Simultaneous Storytime chickens, but you've got a bunch of other books at the moment too. You've got one about wolves that I've been seeing a lot about.
Yes. So wolves, I've managed to grab a cover. I don't know if this is a big reveal or not, but
let's say it is. I think it's an exclusive big reveal just for today. Look at that.
So this is a cover of The Wolves of Greycoat Hall, a junior fiction novel written and illustrated by me and published by Walker Australia. And it has a lot of pictures. The author gave the illustrator a really hard time for that one. The illustrator had to keep drawing and drawing. But yes, it will be out September the 1st.
Fantastic. So give us a little summary of what that's all about.
Well, it is quite hard to explain in some ways. There is a family of wolves, and they have done very well for themselves. They live in Moravia in Europe, and they discover that Scotland is reintroducing wolves. So these wolves decide to go to Scotland to seek an introduction. And off they head, travelling first class to Scotland for a swanky holiday. But the Scots aren't quite used to wolves travelling first class and staying in hotels and going to their tourist sites. So it's a bit of a fish out of water story. There's a lot of Scottish wolf history in this. So here is a wolf ancestor. And there's quite a lot of humour and an awful lot of cake, because wolves, like dogs, really like to eat. They're basically sophisticated Labradors.
Sophisticated Labradors. I've been described as a sophisticated Labrador from time to time, so I can relate to those wolves.
That's one favourite about the book that I should probably can't describe too well, but if you see on the front, here are our wolves looking very dignified.
Yes.
And on the back, we get a bit of an insight into what they're really like.
Oh, yes, yes. I relate to that just at the moment. I mean, I'm doing a lot of that right now.
A lot of baking.
Yes, I like a lot of baking and a lot of eating. That's awesome. Well, thanks, Lucinda, for showing us that exclusive. That's amazing. So kids, look out for that. But now it's time to get on with the show. We've got to get to our first segment. So if my helpers could please hold up the very first segment, and that there's a little bit of negotiation going on behind the scenes. You can both hold it up if you like. That's totally fine if you both want to hold it up, or one, or none, as it turns out. Well, the segment itself is called Ready, Steady, Draw. Yeah, awesome work.
I'm going to switch screens now.
Okay,
Excellent.
Good idea. You know what's going on, Lucinda, because what we're doing is we're inspired by Mr. Squiggle, which I used to watch when I was a kid. We have some squiggles that have been sent in by some friends of the live stream. And this is one of them. And we're going to give you 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
30 seconds per squiggle.
30 seconds is not long.
It's not long at all to try and turn this into something. Okay?
Oh.
Now I've got my PJ Masks watch here. I'm going to put it onto the stopwatch. And I'm going to give you 30 seconds to turn this into something amazing. And perhaps my helpers might like to, if they're having a bit of a chat, they might like to.
So are you starting yet?
Okay. All right. Ready, set, go. Okay, we're away. What are you going to turn this into?
I have no idea.
Oh, good start. Good start, yes.
Oh,
yeah, I love that.
What's this?
Don't worry about the chicken. That's going off early. You've still got 14 seconds. No, not chicken needed yet.
That's a chicken noise.
Okay. Oh, look at this. This is like a chicken meets person. We've got 4 seconds. 3. Stop with the chicken, please, to the right time. And it is. Time's up. Now we can have the chicken. Oh, beautiful. Now, my apologies for the early chicken there, Lucinda. I love
the chicken.
I might take the chicken because the chicken seems to be going off on its own accord. But look at what you've created there. That's fantastic.
Oh, yes, let's look back. Sorry.
You've got a triangle type character that's jumping into the sky. There's a alien spaceship. And is that a half person, half chicken? What would you call that down in the corner?
I think the implication I'm trying to make is the alien has arrived, even though the alien appears to be jumping rather than falling, and there is a surprised chicken.
A surprise chicken.
Thank you for the chicken inspiration.
No worries at all. Okay, so what we need to do now is we do need to flick over to the next one because we've got 2 challenges today.
Right.
In this Ready, Set, Draw. And so this next one comes from someone called Little Burger, which I appreciate a cute name like that. Okay. Now, are you ready? Let me get my stopwatch happening. Ready, set, draw. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, we're 5 seconds in, and we've got a bit of. Oh, look at this! It's either a snake or a worm. No, I think it's a snake. It's got the markings on it. Awesome. A bit of a shadow. Yeah, I like that. That's fantastic. Okay.
Oh, now I've done something weird.
That's okay. You've got 10 seconds. 6.
Oh, no.
5 seconds. I know that's going quick. You've done something weird. It's not helping you. Oh, look at this. Okay. The snake's talking to. Real friendly. Is that a seagull? I like it. And stop. Oh, where was this? There it is. There's the chicken squeaking as it makes its way out the door. And look, we'll give you the chance to fill in the thought bubble.
My iPad fell off the table there.
I'll get it. Trying conditions all around, both sides of the stream. Why don't you fill in the thinking there of the snake? Because I'd love to see what he's actually thinking.
Oh, right. What is he thinking? Let me see. I was sort of, he's thinking of dinner, but I haven't really shown that very well. I suppose.
I think that's a plate.
I think maybe it would be better, wouldn't it, if you were showing dinner to show a knife and fork?
Yes,
isn't it? That's how you show dinner.
Exactly, with a little drumstick. Love it.
Or he could be imagining himself with a big bird-shaped lump in his body.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a child-friendly
That's-
concept, is that?
No, that's nature. This is a little bit of discovery on the run here. We're learning a lot of stuff,
Oh,
which is great.
or maybe he's looking at the bird thinking, why are you drawn with a different outline to me? Something must have gone wrong.
I'm sure he's not aware of that. I think he's just rolling with it. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is excellent. Well done, Lucinda. Thank you for that. Now we've warmed up your fingers. You're obviously, you're ready to go now with your drawing. So what we need to do, this is the part of the show where I need to tell the kids at home to get their pens and pencils happening, because they are going to get a chance now to draw one of your characters. Now, is there a particular character you would like to draw and to teach the kids at home how to draw, Lucinda?
Oh, well, I think the chickens would probably be a good place to start.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's do Whitney and Brittany from your National Simultaneous Storytime picture book. That would be awesome.
Excellent. Okay, so they're normally drawn in quite a nice thick line. So I'll just
Awesome.
I'll just change that a little bit. See how this line. Okay. So I usually, when I draw birds, I usually draw them from the side, because when you've seen a bird front on, they do look a bit odd.
Okay.
So I always start. I usually just start with the eyes.
All right.
Like
I'm going
this.
to draw along with you, because I think that might be a bit.
Yeah.
Then you can laugh at
you
what I
will
do.
show me the drawing afterwards, won't you?
Of course I will. Of
Yeah.
course. Yep. Okay.
Now they've got glamorous eyes, so there's a sort of they generally wear a lot of mascara.
Okay.
And then I keep a little distant from the eye. I do this kind of beak. It's sharp, but it's friendly.
Okay. Right. All right. So that's a tricky part. So kids, we need to do
Yeah,
that curve.
break it down a little bit.
Yeah. Could
I'll
you
tell you
break
what,
that for us?
maybe do an underdrawing first. That might be a good way of showing you.
Oh, okay.
I haven't ever really done a instructive sort of drawing. So, okay, so we have the circle for the eye.
Yes.
And then imagine with the beak that it is a triangle like that.
Yeah.
So, but I try and then do a curve around like that.
Okay, so sort of go just above the triangle, do a little curve.
Yeah, so starting between the eye and the triangle, I do a curve.
Great.
And then when you get, the curve goes a bit further than the triangle, see here?
Oh, a little bit.
And then I curve back up.
Curve back.
It's not quite. And then, but the thing is, we don't want our chicken to look sad. They're almost always happy. So I do a little, it has to curve back up there. It is a complex shape.
Yes, it is.
It's deceptively complex, these chickens. Yeah. And then that's their top bit. And the bottom is just like a little triangle here.
Okay, so add a little triangle. So kids at home, just add that little triangle. And it sort of comes straight out of where the beak connects to the eye, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that's a good way of describing it. Awesome. And then I'll draw the pupil inside the eye.
Oh, yes. Big
We've
pupil.
done most of the face.
Great.
Right. Now, what I'm going to do is the outline, and this is going to be a bit hard because it sort of comes a little bit outside of the circle. Here we are.
Oh, okay. So we outline around
the head is the heart. Yeah.
Okay.
And we extend it down for a neck.
Oh, great.
Now the rest of it's pretty easy. I don't.
Good.
The chickens have this crest, and it's messy. I just really quickly draw it like this normally.
Yeah.
I don't worry too. Oh, but you can see the crest ends up under the eye. Because they need to have this little bit here. See where I've done the arrow? Because that's where their earrings are attached.
Oh, of course they are. Yes.
Because otherwise, how else would a chicken wear earrings?
Yeah, and that's a really good point. So, so it's sort of like, would you say you do sort of like 2/3 of a flower around the chicken there?
Yes. Yes.
Let's get some flower action, kids at home, around the chicken. And then a little one, as you saw there, the smallest one is just under the eye, which lets us do a nice big jangly earring.
Jangly earring, or any kind of earring. I like the jangly ones. And then I make some. Oh yes, the eye. I make the eye more sort of dressed up with 3 or 4 eyelashes.
Yeah.
And an eyelid.
Yes, lovely.
And also doing my flower-shaped crest means that I can do things like I can add a tiara here.
Oh, a tiara.
Some curvy bits.
Nice.
A tiara.
Lovely.
There we go.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so you start with a line, and then sort of some circle work. And it almost looks like antennas, but they're part of the tiara, yeah?
They're part of the tiara,
Yeah.
yes.
Great.
You can make a tiara a bit like this with pipe cleaners. I'm starting to practice that for Easter, my Easter bonnet.
Good idea. Yeah. Easter hats. Yeah.
Now,
Big thing these days.
because the head's so complicated, I've sort of focused on that. But what I can do is I can make it smaller on this, and then I can fit the body in.
Oh, perfect.
And,
all right.
And now the bodies are quite easy. There's a circle here, about the same size as the length of the neck.
Okay. Circle about the size of the length of the neck. Yep.
Yeah. And then their body sort of goes round a circle. With the wings, I do pretty much the same as the crest. I draw it really quickly, really like that.
So is it good sometimes just to draw things quickly and just have them be as they are?
It is I think it keeps the drawings loose, but it looks like the characters are moving a bit more if you draw it loosely. But sometimes I just do it because I'm more likely to get it right, and it makes the curves a bit smoother.
Okay, good advice.
And you can't really see the other wing normally because it would be tucked under, but I'm going to let's make this Whitney. I'm going to make Whitney reaching out with the other wing to wave.
Okay.
Waving, and put little movement marks there to show
movement marks. Okay, that's clever.
Yeah.
So you just do some of those sort of round dashes, and then it makes it look like perhaps she's waving to us.
Yes, or shedding feathers, but probably waving.
Let's say waving. Yeah.
And then the same for the tail. Really, the tail comes out like a big fan. So if you imagine lots of ovally shapes like this coming out.
Okay. Yep. That's over the back, over the back there. Okay, so
yeah, so you have to they tuck behind the body and the wings. Maybe these aren't as simple as I thought. I'm thinking.
Well, I think you're doing a very good job explaining it, though. I'm sure we've got lots of amazing chickens happening in the living rooms of all the kids right now.
Oh, I hope so. Now, I hope someone at home has silky chickens, because Whitney and Brittany are sort of silky chickens, and silky chickens have these, for their feet, they have these fluffy balls. So I usually just draw these round bits.
Oh, yeah.
And make them fluffy. And that's sort of the bottom of their legs. And then they just have their 3 claws sticking out to each leg. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And sometimes when they go out, they have nail polish on these.
Of course they do.
We can make them different colours.
Yes. Well, how good is that? That looks fantastic. Nice work.
What I like to do is add a little bit of a sort of glamorous outfit, So
they're very glamorous, these chooks, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very glamorous. Yeah, yeah, they like to dress up, really.
Yeah, that's okay. It's good.
Everything's sparkly.
Good to have a bit of a dress up fun. Okay, so this is Whitney.
This is Whitney.
This is Whitney. She's got the necklace. And does she have any? Is the necklace the last bit, or is there anything else that she has?
I think the necklace is probably the last bit for now. I mean, that she could have a necklace, and then she could have sometimes I give them tutus like this. There's another bit there, just a little tutu underneath.
Oh, a little bit of a tutu. Why not?
Yeah. And sometimes I'm going to change colour just to show it. Sometimes I give them a bit of lippy.
Oh, really? Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. But yes, they're not magpies, but they love sparkly things. And sometimes as well, I'll do a little shade with the side of my pencil if I'm using pencil, just to make them seem a bit rounder. I'll also add little feathery marks here to give them a bit of texture. And of course, when I'm doing the final drawing, I would rub out all the bits that overlap.
So you could almost say go with pencil to begin with, and
then pressing
map it out.
lightly.
Yeah, and then after that you can go over with texture, perhaps. Would you recommend that?
Yeah, texture would be good, or even a fiber tip pen, just a black pen, and then you can rub out your pencil. I find that a lot of younger artists tend to press quite hard with the pencil, so it's important to press lightly so you can rub it out and not scrunch up all the paper.
Yeah. So whenever you draw, Lucinda, here's a tip for the kids. Do you always start with this, what you call the undercoat, perhaps? Yeah, you do.
The underdrawing or the rough drawing. And sometimes, you see how I've done this in purple? Quite often I'll do the underdrawing in purple or pink or blue, and I'll do the final drawing in black. And the blue sort of fades out when I photograph or copy the drawing.
Right.
So I don't need to.
Fantastic. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you. I hope the kids at home have been able to follow that and they've drawn their own Whitney. And when I'm looking at it right now, I'm thinking, wow, that is really complicated, but I'd love to see what they've come up with. I've had a crack.
I'll have to do a simplified version for my website, I think.
I've had a crack too. So I might, if you can jump out of the share screen for just a moment, I might show you my version and you can give me some feedback perhaps.
Okay, great.
And hopefully the kids at home are all drawing their own versions of Whitney, which I'd love to see them. If kids, if there's any Whitneys that you've got out there, please just post them in a comment or email them through. We'd love to see them. Okay, now let me just show you my Whitney, which I'm pretty proud of, to be honest. Actually, Brittany. It's not Whitney, it's Brittany.
Brittany's blue, Whitney's pink.
Okay, there she is there.
Oh, that's really good. That's excellent.
So her neck doesn't quite connect, but apart from that, I'm...
and gives her a bit of mood. Yeah. That's marvellous.
The earrings perhaps touch large, but apart from that, I'm ready for national simultaneous story time.
I think you can share that everywhere. That's great. Yeah.
You're
I like
too
the
kind. Thank you very much for that, Lucinda, and I hope all the kids enjoyed drawing a little bit of Brittany. And perhaps they can take that lesson and, use that for when, well, it's in May, isn't it? National Simultaneous Story Time.
Yeah.
Use that
We've
later.
got ages.
Got ages of time, plenty of time to practice. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what we want to do now we've got you, we want to do two more segments, but our second segment is a segment where we want to give the kids something to work on this afternoon, something to be creative with. And it's a segment that I call... That's a cue. It's a segment that I call Story Starter. Yeah.
Story Starter. Okay.
Yes. So in this one, we do all sorts of things to try and get kids inspired to write their own short story. But I thought perhaps with today's Story Starter, now you do a lot of awesome picture books. I thought maybe we'd try and come up with an idea for a picture book. So I thought we could do perhaps a bit of a mashup. Now, one of my books at the moment is a book called Derek Dool Super Cool, and it might be hard to see, but there are two little crows, and I know you love birds. There are two little crows.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I can see that.
And they sort of give a running commentary all the way through the story.
All right.
Maybe it might be fun as a bit of a mashup, a Derek Dool meets Lucinda Gifford sort of birdish mashup.
Right.
What if we did what if we did a character which was a crow and tried to come up with the first rhyming for the book that kids might be able to continue with? What do you think about that idea?
I think that's really good. Right. So we come up with a line or a drawing, do you think?
Well, if you could come up with a crow for us, and whilst we come up with the crow, we'll workshop a line to start with. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again.
Yes, that would be awesome. So... The crows. I don't know what in my book, they're called Gilbert and Gertie, but they don't necessarily have to be called that. They can be called
Gilbert,
whatever.
Those are great names for crows.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe we'll do Gilbert. We'll do Gilbert. Yeah. And maybe it's a story about Gilbert. So kids, we're going to give you, and you can follow along with the drawing of Gilbert if you like. I'm putting Lucinda on the spot here to draw a crow, but I know she loves her birds, so it shouldn't be.
They've got these big mean beaks, haven't they?
They do. So we're going to get a big mean beak here. And
is Gilbert, or is he quite nice?
No, they're both pretty grumpy and pretty sarcastic.
Oh, good.
So you're right on the money there with the way his eyes are looking. Yeah. So he's not a very. Basically, they like to sit up in the trees and comment about all the things that are happening to Derek and all his friends. So they're.
Oh, okay. So they're commenting. So they're kind of gossiping a bit too.
They are gossiping. Yes. They are.
Yeah, he's talking, and he's really sneakily kind of talking behind his hand, you know,
Yeah.
like behind. He's sort of, yeah, and
Yes,
he's got
perfect.
that, and he's got they got quite big. They've got quite there he is, and he's actually balanced on a telegraph wire, but he's
Oh, I
about to
love it.
fall off,
Yes,
and
because
he deserves to.
he does deserve to. Okay, so that's excellent. That is our character. So kids, think about this crow character called Gilbert, and then we need to come up with the first line. So maybe we say something like, Gilbert the gossip
Ah,
had so much to say, and then what could we say for the second line? Gilbert the gossip had so much to say.
oh, I'm trying to think of something that is quite unusual rather than just day or way, isn't it? It's something like
Yes. Um, yes. Yeah.
mm,
It should be something like, it could be, we'll workshop this.
yeah,
Gilbert
yeah,
the
yeah.
gossip had so much to say, if he swooped over you, you should get out of the way.
Get out. Let me.
Gilbert the gossip had so much to say, his squawking would always ruin kids' day.
Yeah. Or Gilbert the gossip had so much to say.
Yes.
His oh no, I'm really stuck now. I was going to say something about his words echoing all around the bay, because then you get a bit of a setting as well.
Awesome.
But
That's great. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Gilbert the gossip had so much to say, his words would echo right round the bay.
Right round the bay, and they're all like,
I like
"Shut
it.
up, Gilbert! Hear the lorikeets for a change."
That's right. Give them a chance. That's awesome.
Doesn't it
So,
sound?
kids at home, Gilbert the gossip had so much to say, his words would echo right round the bay. So that's your first line and your character from your picture book, which we'd like you to work on this afternoon. So that's our story starter for today. Gilbert the gossip. He's a crow. He's always gossiping. What might happen to Gilbert? That's what you've
There's
got.
the bay in the background.
He's the bay. Yep, I love it. He's sort of on a fence near the bay. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. He's near. There's some trees here. You know,
Awesome work.
near the harbour.
That's fantastic. Okay, kids, take that, run with it, and we'd love to see what you come up with. That's brilliant. All right. Thank you very much. We put you on the spot there, Lucinda. I appreciate that. But I think that's an excellent start. That's an excellent start to a story. So that's cool. All right. Now, our last segment of the day of our live stream is one that I'm very excited about. You can see it sort of sneaking into shot. In fact, why don't we just go for it? It's called Boredom Busters.
Really excited about this one.
Yes, I'm really excited about it because it involves toilet rolls. Now, right at the minute, we've probably got a heck of a lot of toilet rolls hanging around our houses where we're living. So it's very exciting that we've found a use for them, okay? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to turn the humble toilet roll, we're going to turn that into Whitney or Brittany the chicken, okay?
Right.
Do you think we can do this, Lucinda? Have we got the ability?
I think we can do this. I've had a lovely morning working on this.
Okay, so do you have some bits and pieces there that you can work on?
I do. I prepared earlier.
Awesome.
That way, yeah, and just in case, I've done this as well.
You've got them both. Awesome. So you got the Whitney and Brittany colours. Now I've prepared one as well. I've gone with yellow for this one. I've got a yellow
Tweety bird.
Yeah, I'm doing Tweety bird exactly. So what you need to do now, you don't necessarily have to paint them. I know we're all stuck at home at the moment, so if you don't necessarily have paints at home, that's okay. You can do a plucked chicken. Plucked chicken.
Yes.
Hard to say.
or colour it in pencil or stick something.
Stick some paper on, whatever you like, whatever's easy. But we are both, Lucinda and I, are lucky enough to have paints in the house. So we've been able to do this. And even my helpers have put together some pink ones. And so they've got the Whitney and Brittany thing happening too. But I'll go with yellow. So what I think we need to do is I'm going to change my camera here just so that you can see a bit closer up what we need to do. So here we go. So we've got the piece of paper, and you get a pen, and you need to draw a couple of shapes on your piece of paper. 3 shapes, actually. You need to draw, because you're going to cut this out. You need to draw like, imagine you have a little baby brother or a little baby sister. Just draw their hand like that, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you, Lucinda?
That makes sense. I'm doing it now.
Draw their hand. Okay, that's the first step. Now, I said there's going to be 3 things that we need to draw. So we draw their hand. We draw, it's all going to make sense. It doesn't make sense at the moment, but it will all make sense. We're also going to draw a diamond, and perhaps maybe you can do a smaller diamond or a larger diamond. It's up to you, really. You don't have to do it the same size as me. And then the last thing we're going to draw is, now this is a little bit unusual. You draw it's sort of like a strange looking tree, okay? If that also makes sense. So get your cardboard. I've just done it on white so that people can see the shapes that we're trying to make. So we're making sort of like a baby's hand. We're making a diamond, and we're making what looks like a tree. And because this is going to turn into, is that called the crest? You would know, Lucinda.
Yes, that's
the crest. Okay, and then we've got a diamond, which will be the beak, and then we've got a tree, which is going to be the feet. Okay, believe it or not. Because once you cut those out, now you might be under the pump trying to cut those out, but I prepared some earlier. So we've come back with the baby hand there. And then we've got our diamond. And last of all, we've got our sort of a tree. And this, think of it, it has 2 branches, because that is going to become the feet. So when you're doing your tree, you've sort of got a branch here and a branch there. So you're ending up with these 3 bits that you've cut out. Now, you're probably cutting at a furious pace there, Lucinda. So, but I'll keep barreling forward.
I was looking at you.
Okay, terrific. So kids at home, you can always watch this again later and pause it and all that sort of stuff if you're not quite getting it in the same time as we are. So the first thing you need to do is grab your scissors. If obviously if you need a bit of help with the scissors with mum and dad, that's totally fine. And you take your baby hand, and you cut a little bit of a slot there and a little bit of a slot there, because what you're going to do with your baby hand is slot it onto your toilet roll, because as you can see there, that's your chicken's crest. Ooh. Okay. How are you going there, Lucinda?
Oh, I'm loving this.
Are you loving it? I hope you're.
There we go.
How's your crest? Oh, yep, there we go. You've got a sparkly crest. How good's that? And that's the beauty of this, is that you can make it your own. You can do your own sort of decorations, your own crest, your own sort of chicken. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so then what you need to do is you grab your diamond shape and you fold it in half, okay? You fold it in half, and one end of the diamond is going to actually be stuck. It's going to be stuck to the chicken to become a beak. So I'm just going to use sticky tape for this. Stick your beak to your chicken, and there you go. You've got a chicken with a beak now.
Oh, great.
So it's coming together, and we're almost there. Then remember your tree with the strange 2 little branches. Okay, so you take your tree and you're going to stick it up into the toilet roll there, and suddenly you've got chicken feet. Now, to stick that on, it's a little bit tricky, but I'm sure we'll be able to make it work. We just get a little bit of sticky tape, or similar, or glue, whatever you have. I know we're all might not have exactly the same stuff in everyone's houses, but we stick sticky tape in there and we attach the feet like that. And there you have pretty much almost the end of your chicken. How are you going there, Lucinda? Yeah. That's looking awesome. Can you explain to us what you've got there?
So I cut my hand out of glittery paper.
Awesome.
And I've just done the same with the feet and the beak.
Love it.
And obviously,
fantastic.
An illustrator, I've got a lot of bits of coloured paper around. So you're very lucky right now.
Yes. Okay, so now we've got one Well, actually, we've got 2 steps to go. Now, oh, I just dropped something. Apologies for that. We are very lucky because we have a whole bunch of coloured. We actually. Oh, thank you. It's been given back to me. We are very lucky in our house. We've actually got some feathers that we have in our craft drawer. So if you can find a feather, find your feather if you've got one. That is, of course, and stick your feather to the back so that you've got a little bit of a chicken's tail there. So I'll just stick my tail on, and there you go. And so therefore, when you turn it around, you've got a bit of a chicken's tail, and you've got a beak, and you've got feet. And of course, Lucinda, once you've got your tail, there's only one more step. Look at that glamour tail of yours. Can you tell us what you've got there?
I've got some sparkly foam from Office Works. Other foams are available. Other shops are available, and I'm going to wrap it round the chicken.
Awesome.
Like
can you hold it up?
There we go. There we are.
How good is that? It's like sparkly pants.
And I've also got some added sparkle, and I'm going to pop that round the top for a tiara.
That is fantastic. That is awesome. It puts me to shame, but that's okay because it's all about having a go. It's all about now. My tail's falling off, so I'm going to add a little bit more sticky tape to my tail because that would be how awkward if you're a chook and your tail fell off. Okay.
That would be very awkward.
So you can see you can use any color you like, and the last step is drawing the eyes onto your chook. So I like to put 2 big chook eyes there, and circle. Do the black dot right in the middle, because we learnt yesterday from Mick Elliott. If you do it right in the middle, it looks like the chicken or the character is looking directly at you, and there is the chook, and he's looking a little bit more of an angry. Maybe he's an Angry Bird type chook than I imagined him looking, but. There you go. But that's my chook. And Lucinda, perhaps you could show us your chook. Is yours Brittany or Whitney?
This is definitely Whitney. And my chook has the eyes much more on the side than your chook.
Oh, yes.
Looks a little odd from the front. But yeah, I'm quite this. I'm going to do Brittany afterwards.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I love the expressions on yours. They're fantastic.
Yeah, that was I'm not sure. You can make your chooks happy. You can make them sad. You can do whatever you like. Yeah. I think mine thinks he's a bit of a punk rocker. Actually, he's got a bit of attitude, my chook. But you can do whatever you like. Oh,
I've just added eyelashes to mine, so false eyelashes.
That is a great addition. So eyelashes, a special clothes like you've got down the bottom of yours, Lucinda. They look cool too. So there is your boredom buster for this afternoon. Make your own chook with your toilet paper rolls. Oh, and
thank you for that.
I think it might. I've got a feeling my chook might start flying in front of the camera. I'm not 100% sure, but there it is. Oh yes, wow! What special effects we're going with here today. And Lucinda, I can sort of hear yours clucking. Is that right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Awesome work. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Lucinda, for joining us. You've been a star.
Thank you.
You've got National Simultaneous Storytime coming up. Whitney and Brittany, the chooks. Make sure everyone gets on board with that.
And very quickly, this one has just come out.
Oh, you got another one?
So this is Monty's Island, written by Emily Rodder. And we have another bird on it, a very angry bird. You see the angry bird?
I can. Yeah,
Clink,
angry birds are more my style, I think. I've got a couple more toilet rolls, which I'm going to start using this afternoon. So kids at home,
brilliant.
Boredom buster today. Make some chooks out of toilet rolls. Your story starter is do something about Gertie the Grumpy Crow. That might get you to do some sort of story, even if it's a comic strip or something like that. And of course, you can go back, rewind back, and you can draw Brittany as well. So look, there's a chook that's appearing down there. So thank you so much, Lucinda, for joining us. And it's great to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me.
No worries at all. And we'll say goodbye to everyone. That's been another Author Hangout. Tomorrow, I've got Chris.
Bye.
So make sure you tune in, everyone, for Chris Kennett tomorrow. But thank you, Lucinda, and goodbye.
Goodbye. See ya.
Bye. Oh, there goes the chalk.